All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Ka Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakak Wadash Ma'amak. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and my elder Herwan as well. Salutation to the occupant of the pushing of truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And I'm Khalak Sa'am Yashala from the Lions of the Yashala camp. And this is going to be you know, trying to go on with the spirit. I saw this post on Facebook. Was it yesterday? And we're just going through some of our captivities and time periods of the captivities. Or so it's like um it was prophesied for all this to happen to us because of transgressions against the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh by Shem Shai. But even though the Lord put us in these captivities, He's going to deliver us out of these captivities, man. And it's a beautiful thing to be in the position we're in. But even though the rest of the world looks at us as if you know looks at us in a pitiful state, just like they looked at Yahweh Shai as a pitiful state when um when he was up there on the cross, you know. So you know even though it seems like we're in this lowly condition, there's nowhere else for us to go but up from here. And Yahweh Shema Shai is going to make sure that we go up. All right. All right. This is Jeremiah 31 and 28, and it says, "And it shall come to pass that like as I watched over them to pluck them up and break them down, and to throw down, and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, saith the Lord." Because there's a time for everything, man. There's a time and a season for everything. There was a season for us to be in our captivity. There's also going to be a season for us to come out of our captivity. All right. Let me get Ecclesiastes 3:1 that says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven." Right. So like the problem is it gets so hard being in our captivity that some start to lose patience. And when you lose patience, it causes their faith to deteriorate. It takes a lot of patience to keep the faith that we have because Yahweh Shemel Shai is a God of patience and long suffering. So from what I'm saying, the exhaustion that we feel from being in this captivity, feels like an eternity, but we don't even know what eternity is. You know, it's just so much pressure that pushes down upon us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when is it ever going to end? But Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to put a sort of stop to it because it's a time and a season for everything. Just like it was a time and a season for all these captivities that we went through: Assyrian captivity, Babylonian captivity, Persian. And before the Assyrian captivity, we were in captive with Moab. All right. Greek captivity, Roman captivity, and the captivity that we're in today. There was a time and a season for all those captivities. Now we're in our last captivity. Ecclesiastes 3:1, it says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted." Right. So, because remember, you know, as a matter of fact, let's go back to, what was that? Jeremiah 31 and 28, it says, "And it shall come to pass, like path that like as I watched over them to pluck them up. Right. You know, that was our pluck up to be plucked up out of our land and go into captivity throughout the four corners of the earth. It says, and to break down, and that's what broke us down, and to throw down and to destroy it, right? Because this is all prophesied in by Moses in Deuteronomy, and to afflict. So will I watch over them to build and to plant, saith the Lord. Right? Remember, there's a time and a season for everything under heaven. Right? Let's get So going back to that Ecclesiastes real quick, Slovakia, to build, to plant, the Lord, um, He destroyed us, He plucked us up. Now He's building and planting us, man. This is Ecclesiastes 3:1 again. It says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted." And what is being plucked up now? Um, the root of Esau. And what is being planted? The root of Jesse. And the root of Jesse is Yahweh Shai. But we can't count slackness as man would count slackness, because we've been here over about 500 some odd years. You know, the Lord's going to put a stop to this devil, though. You know, it says a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, and we're being built up right now. All right. So the Lord said that time what it say? Um, it says back to Jeremiah 31:28 again. It says, "It shall come to pass that like as I watched over them to pluck them up, that was our time period to be plucked up, and to break down." All right. So we are plucked up and broken down, and to throw down and to destroy. Right. The time to heal and the time to kill. We were destroyed, man. It says, and to afflict. So will I watch over them to build and to plant, saith the Lord. So there's a time for everything. This is our time, our planting time. And when Yahweh Shai gets here, it's going to be our harvest season. All right, verse 4 it says, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Right, we're in a state of mourning, but pretty soon we're going to be dancing. All right, a time to cast away stones, right? Because we were cast, um, you know, throughout the four corners of the earth. But now it says, and a time to gather stones. What does the scripture say? Ye as lively stones. Shalaki, let me get that real quick. Bear with me. All right. Shalaki. Uh, ye as lively stones, real quick. All right, so what does it say? A time to cast away stones, right? We were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and it's kind of time to gather stones. We're in the time of the gathering. This is 1 Peter 2:5. It says, ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifice acceptable by Yahweh to Yahweh by Yahweh Shai Shalakia. All right. So this is the gathering of the precious stones of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. Um, let me go from there. Let me go to back to Jeremiah 31:28. It says, "And it shall come to pass that like as I have watched over them to pluck them up and to break them down, to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, saith the Lord." So it's a gardening process, you know. Till the ground, plant the seeds. You know, sometimes you got to move plants around to get them to be fertilized better. But ultimately, we're gonna end up in our home, no matter where we're gonna, no matter where we've been moved to, man. Because looking at, all these nations, this is just a fraction. All these nations had a hand in our captivity. You know, this is our first Maccabees 2:10. It says, what nation hath not had part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? All her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman, she has become a bond slave, man. And that's what we have become through transgressions against Yahweh Shem Yahshai. So ultimately, everything that we're going through is our punishment. But just like, you know, there's a time and place for everything, the time and the season for everything, just like the time and the season for us to be punished, and a time for a season for our punishment to be over with. So like she's become a free woman, from a free woman to a homeborn slave, man. And we no longer we became free again through Yahweh Shah, man. Like how Paul was explaining the free woman and the bondwoman with Hagar. All right, this is Jeremiah 2:14. It says, "Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Because we were spoiled because of our transgressions." So the Yahweh Shema Shai gave these other nations open season, open game unto us, man, because we chose not to listen to him. You know, going back to First Maccabees chapter 2, it says, verse 12, it says, "And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory, is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it." Right? Because our glory is laid waste because what we chose to glorify Him. Instead of glorifying in the Lord, we try to become like these other nations, man. This is Jeremiah 2:11. It says, "Has a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which doeth not profit." There's no profit in what we change our glory into, because we changed our glory into to the idols of these other nations and giving homage to them. That's what we did. No, but we were brought back through Yahweh Shai, man. So, but the thing, our transgressions is what led us into these captivities. But Yahweh Shema Shai is always going to make a way for us to escape. This is Ezekiel. I'm just going through the spirit, like just touching on certain scriptures, man. This is Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 16. It says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, although I have scattered them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where I shall scatter them." So the Lord was pissed off of my transgression, but when He scattered us and gave us gave us our punishment, He left a little way back to Him every single time. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be back. We were always going to be brought back through His word, no matter how it was delivered unto us. You know, Yahweh Shai is ultimately the one, the living word that's bringing us back um to the Father, man, Yahweh. But that sanctuary has always been there throughout all these captivities. That's why we got delivered from one captivity to another, and we were preserved because it was all prophetic. It was all set up by Yahweh Shem. It was part of our punishment, not to destroy us, not to completely destroy us, because we became destroyed when we were discontinued from our heritage. As a matter of fact, let's go. Let me get where is it? Shalakia. Let me see real quick. Let me get Jeremiah 17:4. Shalakia. This is Jeremiah 17:4. It says, "And even thou, even thyself shall discontinue from thy heritage that I shall give thee, and that I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in a land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger which shall burn forever." All right, we're totally consumed, you know, by the anger of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Not to the point where we were totally destroyed, but Yahweh Shemel Shai left a little sanctuary for us to always look back to be able to find our way back to Him. So He scattered us throughout the four corners of the earth on every side, but He left a little sanctuary every time. And let me get this scripture real quick. This is Baruch chapter 2, verse 30, and it says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves." So now, what land? What captivity is that? Because the Assyrian captivity, we knew we were Israelites. Babylonian captivity, we knew we were Israelites. Persian captivity, we knew we were Israelites. Greek captivity, we knew we were Israelites, but it became unlawful for us to be calling ourselves Israelites. We were forced to go through their customs, and the Roman captivity, was still pushing the paganistic order that was being set up by like Antiochus Epiphanes. In American captivity, we were totally oblivious to who the fuck we are as a people. But in this land, we're gonna remember ourselves. Baruch chapter 2 verse 30 says, "For I knew that they were not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves," man. We're remembering ourselves in the land of our captivity in America, because all these other captivities, we knew who we were, but we were discontinued from our heritage, man. You know? So we wait upon and trust upon Yahweh by Shemal Shai to deliver us from this captivity, man, that we're suffering to this day. You know? And we remember ourselves through um through the Spirit of the Lord, man, through the name of Yahweh Shemal Shai. Just like in Egypt, we were brought back into remembrance of it, even though we knew who we are. But like everything goes back to the name of Yahweh Shemal Shai. Even though we went through all these captivities, man, you know what? We went through those captivities because of our transgressions. But the Lord didn't still didn't forget about us. He made us a way to come back to Him. And we're never going to go into this captivity again. Let me close it out with this. Let me see if I can find it. I know I can find it in my Bible, but I'm on my computer right now. No, that's not it. Um, Slacker. So understanding this, understanding that this is our last captivity. I want to close it out with this. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, and the power that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thy hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt drink it. Thou shalt no more drink it again." Right? We're coming out of our captivity, and we shall no longer go in that captive state again, man. The Lord Yahweh Shem is going to keep us out of that. Verse 23, it says, "But I will put it into the hands of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, Bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over." You know? So the Lord is taking the cup of trembling and of slavery out of our hand and put it in the hand of these other nations, man. So, and it took us going through these different captivities for us to get to this final point. And I just did a lesson the other day. It says, better the end of a thing than the beginning, you know? So, Lord, when this lesson was edifying and served its purpose, that being said, I'd like to say, Call Halayim La Yehovah, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Harakakwadash Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and my elder Herwan as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men and women and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Bashem Shai. Shalom.